Hello, my name is Kim, and in this timeless reading, we are going to find out when and how it will manifest. It's being whatever is on your mind, whatever you've been wanting for it to manifest, like a vision, a dream, or a wish. Now, before I give you a closer look at the options, I do want to let you know when it comes to answering the when. If certain dates or time frames come through, I will share them with you, but I will focus more on describing the energy around the time that this ends up manifesting for you. So I will offer details and descriptions about what is happening in your life or possibly what is happening in the collective. If you are comfortable with that, if you are okay with that, then please now take a moment to cast your gaze upon these four options, and whichever card you are drawn to the most, then that will be the group that has the messages meant for you. But let me give you a closer look of each option. That way you can meditate on each one before selecting. So starting off with option 1, the radishes. Option 2, the sketchpad. Option 3, the strawberry. Option 4, the bluebird. Once you have selected, please head on over to either the description box or the pinned comment in the comment section down below to find the timestamp that will allow for you to skip ahead to your selected group. Okay, and if you are ready, then let us get started. Let's go. Hello, if you were drawn to the radishes, bienvenidos to your reading. So when meditating on this group's energy, the message rising above came to mind. And I also saw in my mind's eye someone taking steps, someone walking. And this someone was human. And the reason why I specify that is because later on this image transformed, and what I saw was the hooves of a horse in motion. So a horse walking, a horse taking steps. So horses could be of significance, or the year of the horse, which is interesting because if you're watching this reading in 2026, this year is the year of the horse, the fire horse to be more specific. So the year 2026 seems to be pretty pivotal and or significant for you guys. It may be an indicator that it is this year that one or more things will manifest for you, or it's in general in the year of the horse, whether it be 2026 or 2038, that this will manifest for you. But I find it significant that what came through specifically was the image of steps, literal steps being taken. Because steps being taken makes me think of forward movement, progress, development, and momentum. So it seems like you are or you will be taking steps forward, or you are being let known that whatever steps you are taking, if you have taken any, they are leading you forward, not backward, is what I heard. And they are necessary to create some kind of momentum. And the fact that we have 3 radishes here is really standing out to me. So the number 3 could be of significance, but it also makes me think of 3 steps. So maybe you are being let know that something will manifest through you taking 3 very important steps, or it will be the outcome of you having taken some kind of steps, right? So if there is anything that you know you have to, let's say, change, or that you have been needing to change, or that you have been needing to take some action in, or if there are any specific steps that you know and you have known for a while that you need to take in order to get closer to something, in order to maybe build or start some kind of momentum, then that could be the key, the way sort of to making something manifest. What I keep hearing in my mind is a door. So that could be what will open a door to allow for, what I heard is flow, to allow for things to start flowing, for your blessings to start flowing in is what is coming through, or for things to start moving, for things to start developing when it comes to this manifestation. And seeing these three radishes tied together makes me think of three important pieces, three important ingredients needing to come together to fulfill something or to make something happen. So it could be that to make a dream of yours a reality, or to manifest a vision of yours, you need to come together with two other people, as in form a team with two others, maybe collaborate with two others. So in other words, this would be a team effort sort of situation. That's just one example, because if this is not about you working with two others, this could be something like you bringing three ideas together, you utilizing three different skills, three different talents of yours. The tie here, or string, is also making me think of like bond. Sounds a little bit weird, but bondage contracts. So maybe something will manifest for you when you are committed to three different projects, or maybe when you are working three different jobs, possibly, because again, I thought of contracts or commitments. Or what else is coming through is this may manifest when you bring three different areas of your life together, or when you are prioritizing three different areas of your life, not just one or one over the other. The three radishes is also making me think of three different aspects of yourself. Maybe when you have accepted different aspects of yourself, when you yourself feel whole because you have reached some kind of radical self-acceptance, for example, or you are not rejecting any aspect, side, or personality trait of yours. The illustration also made me think of order, organization, because the image made me think of being put together. So this may also manifest when you feel like things are coming together, or you don't feel divided is what is coming through, especially divided by your different areas of life. Instead, they all coexist beautifully and you feel in harmony because of that, or there is a lot more balance in your life because of that. Yeah, there's something about coming together or feeling put together, or feeling or being a little bit more organized, stable, or in management. Doesn't mean that this will only manifest when you have figured your life out. That's not at all it. It more so feels like you experiencing some kind of stability, you feeling settled in, settled down, or at ease. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to the other cards, or the other decks. And there is a message on the back of the card that you were drawn to, but I will reveal it to you at the end of the reading. Okay, so first I want to draw out an oracle card to find out the when. When is this going to manifest? I feel we already received some information about that, but let's see what comes through here. Hopefully we'll get a specific date. We already got a specific year, the year of the horse, or the year 2026. Okay, but let us see. We have the first house with Mars and Aries, and the key term impulsiveness. Very interesting. So Aries makes me think of action. And the illustration in the impulsiveness card is reminding me of the Knight of Swords in traditional tarot, which is a card that indicates impulsivity, as well as big changes, opportunities, swiftness. The Knight of Swords seizes the moment. So this lets me know that your manifestation is coming in quick, or whatever you're inquiring about is going to manifest very, very soon. The word swiftly keeps coming to mind. So it's very, very likely that if you are watching this reading in the year 2026, it is in this year that whatever it is you're asking about, or whatever it is that you were thinking about when you tune into this reading will end up manifesting within this year. We do have the number 1 here, which is really standing out to me. I wonder if you are life path number 1, or if this year 2026 is your personal year number 1. I think that's how you phrase it. Because if so, then this may be a huge confirmation for you guys that yes, it is in the year 2026, if you are watching this in the year 2026, that this will manifest for you. But this may also be an indicator that it is when you are in your personal year number 1 that this will manifest. If you don't know about personal year numbers, you can look it up online and get more information about it. But if you want to know right now, how you obtain your personal year number is by adding the digits of your birth month, your birthday, and the current calendar year together, the digits. So for example, if you were born on the 11th of January, you would add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus the digits of this year, which will be 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6. And that's how you get your personal year number. But the first house in astrology, which is what this number 1 represents, is all about the self. This is the house that sheds light on how you, the inquirer, sees yourself, as well as how others regard you. So it seems like you're being let know that the time in which this will manifest for you will have something to do with you. It might be when you are being celebrated, or around the time of your solar return, or it would be on the month that you were born, or it will be within the season of your sun sign. So for example, if you are an Aries sun, it would be during Aries season. But something else that is coming through with impulsiveness is that this will most likely manifest, oh my God, manifest for you when you are maybe feeling a bit impulsive, but more like you are ready to take action, when you are taking action, when you are taking steps, when you are not just talking the talk, but actually walking the walk. And I got excited all of a sudden because my dumb butts didn't realize that in the illustration we literally have a horse and we have a horseshoe. And what I saw in my mind's eye were hooves. So yeah, horses seem to be of significance. Like I said, the year of the horse could be of significance, especially the year of the fire horse, because Aries is a fire sign. And then horseshoes. Horseshoes could also be an important symbol, a lucky symbol. Yes, but this is like a beautiful confirmation. I can't believe it took me that long. That's how slow I can be to catch up sometimes. But this could also be a sign for some of you guys that when this is about to manifest for you, you will be seeing a lot of signs. There will be a lot of synchronicities. Things will match up. I'm thinking of that card game where you have to find pairs of the same image. It's like a memory game. And the goal is to find the most pairs the fastest. That's how you win, I believe. So there's something also about like memory or focus. There's a lot of things coming through. And this is just making me think of excitement and being very energetic. So you will know when this is about to manifest because you will either feel quite hyper or full of energy, or you will be feeling quite revitalized. I see you moving or craving movement or feeling very ready, like I said, to take action. But definitely when this is about to manifest for you, you will, as mentioned before, be seeing a lot of signs, and you will be receiving a lot of confirmations is what is coming through. The illustration and the impulsiveness card, this pattern here is making me think of patterns. You might also be seeing a lot of patterns, things matching up, things connecting. You're talking about horses, and then all of a sudden you see a literal horse, or you see a billboard with a picture of a horse on it, or you're thinking about getting a new pair of pants, and then the next day someone gifts you a pair of pants, or you end up at a store and there's like a clearance of pants or something along those lines. And this is going to be common, and it's going to be often, and it's going to be very apparent. So things are going to feel very in alignment, or it's going to feel like everything is connected, that one thing is leading to another. Because I feel like that's precisely what is happening in the energy. Things are connecting. It's like the puzzle pieces are coming together. Your manifestation is coming together. But the number one also makes me think of new beginnings. And that's what the personal year number one is all about, I believe. New beginnings, initiations, commencements. The number one can also speak of action and leadership, assertiveness. So, especially with Mars being here, which is the planet of action. When this will manifest for you is when you will be seeing either some action in one or more areas of your life, or you will be experiencing some kind of progression, some kind of forward movement. There will be momentum. The pace will be picking up. And it will be as a result of you taking some kind of action. I feel like everything kickstarts or everything jump starts after you take some kind of maybe leap of faith, or you jump into action. Maybe this is about an idea striking you in the middle of the night, and instead of dismissing it, you wake up, you write it down, and the next day you get right to it. You get right to working on that idea or taking whatever necessary steps you need to take to make it a reality, bring it to life, etc. The impulsiveness card is making me think of inspired action, taking inspired action. Not waiting. There's this feeling of not waiting for maybe for some kind of sign, or waiting for some other time, or placing things on hold because I just don't feel like it in the moment. So if you've been feeling pretty like, ugh, I don't want to, like sluggish or uninspired, I feel like this is going to change for you very, very soon. Because like I said, I do see that when this manifests for you, you are going to be feeling revitalized. So you will have the energy to take action, when lightning strikes, when inspiration hits you. But will and energy levels, they can go hand in hand, but they are two different things, right? So you are being advised when that energy or inspiration is surging through you to channel it in something productive and something conducive. Don't let it just sit there and turn into restlessness or turn into agitation or frustration, because you having this surge of, let's say, energy or inspiration, it's for a reason. It's to jumpstart you to take those necessary steps. And these steps might be, as mentioned, things that you already kind of know that you've been needing to take for a while. And it could vary, right? It could be something that to us might seem very simple and non-important, like cleaning your room, or decluttering your space, or I don't know, sending that email that's been in your draft file or box for a while now, or revising, editing your resume, your portfolio, or maybe starting a new habit, creating a new routine. If you've been wanting to go out for a walk every afternoon, but you haven't done so already, maybe now's the time to do just that, because that's the very thing that will start some kind of domino effect that will kickstart the momentum I've been speaking about. Yeah, because there's this feeling of one thing leads to another. Like you getting up and doing the thing will fill you with even more energy, will inspire you even more, and get you going, get you moving. Yeah, again, it's making me think of momentum. Yeah, and that number three I spoke about, those three things could be like tasks, three errands that you just, once you get them done, once you get them out of the way, something magical and beautiful happens. Motion happens. And actually the number three here is making me think of three manifestations, three blessings. I feel like three separate things might end up manifesting within a year or back to back. The horse is also making me think of stamina, fitness, and health. So something else that I'm seeing with the first house is this will manifest when you start either prioritizing your health, your well-being, or you start taking better care of yourself. And definitely when you start seeing some improvements in your health, in your stamina. Yeah, there's something about routines. I feel like for some, you are being let know that your routine, your habits have a major effect on your wellness, on your energy levels, on your stamina. Or maybe the lack of a routine, the lack of organization possibly can end up having a negative effect on your stamina. I'm thinking of like a all over the place sleeping schedule, messing with someone's focus, energy levels, mood, something along those lines. This might also manifest when you're becoming a little bit more physically active, or maybe when you start exercising, right? And it doesn't have to be anything hardcore. It could just be something like going out for walks in the afternoon, or doing some stretches in the morning or before going to bed, or shaking your body, maybe dancing around a bit in the middle of the day, something along those lines. But there's definitely something about physically moving, and again, wellness, taking better care of your health, or prioritizing your health, your well-being, and your physique is also what is coming through. But one thing for sure is this will manifest when you are taking on some kind of challenge, or you're not letting challenges deter you from taking action where you need to take action, from pursuing that which is calling to you. In other words, you're not running away from challenges. Instead, you're facing them head on. So something else I'm seeing is this will manifest when you are taking on something that is challenging to you. And challenging doesn't mean that it overcomes you, but rather it is something that stimulates you intellectually, creatively, maybe even physically, but that does ask of you to either tap into your potential, tap into your strengths, and exercise your weaknesses to make them strong, to turn them into strengths. Yeah, what I heard in my mind is we're not running away. Yeah, when this manifests, you're not running away. You're not running away from insecurities, from fears. You're not running away from that which intimidates you. You're facing it head on. The image in the impulsiveness card is making me think of a knight. It's also making me think of enthusiasm, being enthusiastic about what is to come, about what you can do, about what is possible. Not focusing so much on what can go wrong, right? But focusing more on what can go right, what can be made possible, what is possible, what else is out there. Being hopeful, being optimistic. Not overly optimistic to the point where we're becoming reckless, but optimistic in the sense of you're not quitting before you even begin. You're giving yourself a chance, or you're giving something a chance because you believe that something beautiful may come of this, something wonderful can happen. Okay, but now I'm going to move on. I feel like there's a lot more that wants to come through, and I know I gave like different scenarios, different interpretations, but I do feel it's for a reason because, like I said, I do feel like I am tuning into more than one manifestation. You are being given information about more than one manifestation, but it feels like whatever manifestations you are being given information about in this reading are manifestations that go together, that come in a bundle, or that relate to one another in some kind of way. Or maybe they affect each other. Oh, maybe it's like steps, right? It's something that goes in order. It's chronological, right? So for the last two manifestations to happen, the first one needs to happen because that's the one that gives way to the other two, or that's the one that gives way to the other one, and then the second gives way to the third, right? Because I am picking up on 3 blessings, 3 manifestations, but it could be more. I heard blessings coming through. Ooh, so one thing for sure is you will know when this is already in the works, right? When these manifestations are incoming, because there will be momentum. There's this feeling of you being pulled in like a current. Like once you're in the current, then you're taken by it. You just have to surrender to it. It's like a floodgate. Once it's open, then everything rushes in or everything happens, and you just have to kind of surrender to it and let it direct you. And one thing manifests after another and so forth. because it comes in a bundle is what is coming through. Okay, but now I'm going to move onto the how. Though I feel like maybe I already answered that question, but let's see. This is actually my second attempt at recording this reading. My first attempt was in the year 2025, towards the end of the year. The reason why I didn't complete the readings then is because I had a bit of trouble answering the how. And it was because I wasn't understanding how to answer that question. I don't know why, it just confused me a lot. So I hope I got it. I hope that I end up answering the question adequately. But let's see. So we have the 10 of spades, the number 30, the rod. And oh, that was fast. Wow, okay, we have a door. So we have the number 47 with introverted, calm, and introspective, interesting, with an energy of quiet and stillness may come your way. It is needed. Spend time in. I got excited when I saw the illustration of a door because I did speak about a door, seeing a door in my mind's eye. Yeah, and look, this door has a keyhole. So I feel like you're about to unlock a door, some kind of gateway. Doors make me think of new beginnings. There will be an opportunity for a new beginning, for a new era, for a new cycle, or just newness. But it will depend on you. It will depend on whether you take this opportunity, whether you choose to step up to that door, insert the key, unlock it, and step over the doorway. Yeah, it takes steps. What I heard in my mind is things happen because of steps that you take. Some things, for them to manifest, do require action for them to manifest, and they do require action on your part. So what I'm seeing with the 10 of spades, which reminds me of the 10 of swords in traditional tarot. I know this deck has nothing to do with the traditional tarot, but that's just how I read it sometimes. Bear with me. So what I'm seeing with the 10 of spades is how this will happen is when you've taken the time to introspect, when you've taken the time to dive deep, and I know that sounds a bit like shadow work and inner work, but this is more about you taking the time to be very honest and sincere with yourself about either how you have been going about things, about maybe how you feel, or maybe about your mentality, your mindset. How has that been helpful to you? And the rod is making me think of self-deprecation. It is making me think of self-punishment. And so you are being let know this is not about punishing yourself. This is not about shaming yourself, because going in that direction won't be the way to your manifestations. This is something different. This is simply about honesty, sincerity. It's making me think a bit of like someone getting serious with themselves about what they want, what they would like to see more of, what they would like to feel more of, and how they can create more of that, how they can encourage more of that in their life. What actions can they take? What steps can they take to encourage and create more of what they want to see, experience, or what they like? And this is also about someone getting real and honest about what is stopping them. Like what is getting in the way of them improving or feeling better is what I heard. And all of a sudden I heard in my mind, and it's not you. You are not stopping you. You are not getting in your own way. If you've ever thought that, if you've ever felt that way, zoom out a little bit, or maybe zoom in. Because if you do, you will find and you will realize that what is actually preventing you from, let's say, taking some kind of positive leap forward, or something like believing in yourself, could be a mindset. a mind frame, right? Not all of who you are, but just a mentality, a notion, an idea, a belief. Just as an example, let's say person A has been feeling pretty tired for a while now, and that discourages them from getting stuff done, right? Because they feel tired, they don't have the energy for it. And all this time, person A is thinking that, it's their fault, there's something wrong with them. But if person A would just, maybe zoom in a little to observe the patterns in their life, take a closer look at their tendencies, they might realize that no, the reason they're feeling uninspired most of the time, or let's say are not very productive, right, is because they are tired. And the reason that they are tired is because they're not getting enough sleep, right? They don't have like a good sleeping schedule. It's very inconsistent, right? And so if they were to address that, then they will start seeing changes in their energy levels and in their mood, and also in how they go about their day, what they do within a day, right? So there's something here about not blaming yourself or not immediately seeing yourself as the problem, or closing the door on yourself by thinking that all is lost or it's all or nothing. Either things change from one day to the next or things never change. But seeing it more as it's parts that build a whole. It's the cogs of a machine that get the machine working, right? If one cog or screw is loose, then that can affect the whole. So there's something here about like taking it a step at a time, or just taking the steps and allowing yourself to go from there to start seeing the improvement that you've been seeking, or to start experiencing that forward momentum. But I feel like in order to do that, or at least how it's coming through here, is first there needs to be some introspection. First there needs to be honesty. The 10 of Spades can speak of self-victimization. So again, this is not about punishing. This is not about blaming, but rather about looking at how can you help yourself? How can you help improve certain areas of your life? What can you do? What little things? They don't have to be big things, big steps, big leaps. They could be small changes here and there that do make some kind of positive difference or have some positive influence on you, right? As an example, I am a homebody and a bit of a hermit, so I could spend a long time just being indoors, right? Not going out, not going to new places. And what I realized is, although I love spending time indoors, when I've spent so much time indoors without going outside, without seeing new sceneries or breathing fresh air, my mood does change. I feel sluggish. I feel uninspired. So when I do end up finally going outside, and especially when I get ready, like I get all done up, I take some time on my physical appearance and then go outside, spend time outside and see new places, my mood shifts and even my mentality shifts. Like something in me completely changes. But it's only after going outside, it's only after taking the time on me, like to get ready, that I start experiencing the changes. Because before that, I get into the mind frame or mindset that something is wrong with me as a person. But that's not the case. That's not true. So yeah, I feel like this is about not closing the door on yourself and permitting yourself to see that there are different ways in which you can help yourself, in which you can create positive changes in your life, and you can create forward momentum. And they don't have to be major things, right? They could be, as mentioned before, something like going out for a walk, or maybe going to bed earlier, waking up a little earlier, or maybe sleeping in. Maybe what some of you are needing is a little bit of rest, or time for relaxation, time for play. Maybe this could be about, integrating some kind of physical activity in your day to day, or at some point in your week. But definitely, the answer is not to be harder on yourself. The answer is not to be mean to yourself. The answer is in how you can help yourself, how you can be there for yourself, how you can start now creating the life that you want, but thinking about the life in general feels so monumental. It could just be about a day, like a nice afternoon. How can I make this a nice evening for myself? How can I make this a little bit more pleasant for myself? How can I go about this in a way that feels good to me? Yeah, and I feel like that's how this ends up manifesting for you, because like I said, this is all about you. Or when these manifestations occur, they will have something to do with you, right? So either how you feel, how you see yourself as well, how you are interacting with yourself, how you are working with yourself. The number 30 is making me think of like a Saturn return. I also thought of Jupiter retrograde. So I wonder if some of you have like a Jupiter retrograde in your natal chart. So that could be serving as some kind of confirmation. But yeah, if you've recently experienced a Saturn return, or you've just come out of a Saturn return, this could also be a confirmation that this will manifest for you very soon. Also, if you are in like your early 30s, or it is during a Saturn retrograde or at the end of a Saturn retrograde, that this will manifest for you. But yeah, Saturn retrograde made me think of life lesson, but it also makes me think of learning how to work with yourself, learning how to work with your environment, work with your resources, with your tools to be the best that you can be. And this is not about asking perfection from yourself, but rather about you living in alignment with your values, with your morals, you staying true to you in the sense of you're not abandoning yourself. You are doing the best to be there for you and to take steps that you feel proud of and that make you feel good about yourself and make you feel good about who you are and how you are living your life. And there will be moments in which, we might not, and I say we, I include myself in this because I feel like everybody goes through this, where we're not feeling our best and we're not in our best mindset. That happens, and just because it happens, it doesn't mean that we failed. It just means that we're going through the motions. We're experiencing life. There's a lot of ups and downs in life. So you don't have to be like on this high or feeling super great all of the time to know that you are doing well. This is more so about understanding that when you are not feeling all that great, that you can rise above that. And that was a message that came through at the beginning, right? Rise from that, rise above that, that you can get back up again, that you can feel better and that you will feel better. And that you can help yourself through those not so great moments. You can help yourself feel through certain emotions that are a bit heavy, and you can help yourself get back up. You have it in you to do so, right? Or you can start creating tools right now that can assist you with that. Yeah, but I feel with calm and introspective, there's a lot of self-awareness that is occurring here. But with the 10 of spades, I am seeing this heads up of self-awareness is not about being very nitpicky about yourself, about every move that you make, and expecting perfection of yourself and looking at yourself through the lens of judgment. It's rather about you being aware enough about your own tendencies, about your state of mind, your physical state, and what you can do to help yourself, to be there for you. And if at times you feel like, hey, this is too much for me to take on alone, it's understanding that you can reach for help, right? You can ask for a lending hand. And the 10 of spades also makes me think of like perfection, because the rod again is making me think of someone being a little too hard on themselves. So how this will manifest for you is when you release these ideas or notions of needing to be perfect, or of something needing to be perfect, like something needing to go perfectly, look perfectly for you to then receive your blessings, or for you to then be worthy of your blessings, perhaps. Only take that which resonates with you, because I know some of these messages might not apply to everyone or resonate with everyone, and that is perfectly fine. Remember, we are all on different journeys. Even if you selected the same pile, you could still be on maybe similar but different journeys. Yeah, but there's something about, again, this closed door is making me think of not closing the door on yourself, not saying no, not quitting before you even begin, not giving yourself a chance before you even start, right? Or closing a door on yourself simply because something didn't go as you expected, or something went a little astray, or there was some kind of minor inconvenience. I wonder if some of you are trying to apply self-discipline, but the way that you are going about it is very all or nothing. All of a sudden, I was reminded of Azula, the character Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's a scene where she is training and she does this beautiful formation of firebending. And when she finishes, there's a hair that falls out of place and it's pointed out to her, and it frustrates her because it wasn't perfect, right? There was a hair out of place, and that means that it's not good enough. At least that's what she might be thinking, right? Or what has been instilled in her. But what I'm seeing here is a situation in which, let's take Azula as an example. She ends her firebending practice. She notices that there's a hair out of place, and once she does, she immediately quits. She says, nope, that's it. I'm not gonna do this. It's not gonna work out. I'm never going to firebend ever again. It's like, that door is closed. No more firebending for me. Right? That's kind of the extreme I'm seeing here, like taking self-discipline to an extreme where it's all or nothing. Like, I either get it perfect the first time or I quit. I don't try this again. I don't do it again. I close that door and lock it, and that's it. And what you're being let known here is that won't do. That won't work out for these manifestations, because these manifestations require for you to keep going. They require for you to give it a chance, to give yourself a chance. They require for you to take steps, maybe to practice, right? To maybe face insecurities and fears, to keep going at something enough to see improvement over time, enough to see progress over time, and also to challenge yourself in a way where you might end up falling back from time to time because you are being challenged. But that only strengthens you because it reminds you that you can get back up again, right? And every time you get back up, you come back stronger. I feel like there's this notion or this idea that a sign that something is for you is that it works for you immediately, or that it works out immediately, or that you don't have to put any effort into it. And that might be the case sometimes, but I don't think it's the case all of the time. Even the things that are for us might require a little effort from us, might require some trial by error and practice and perseverance. So you're being let know this will manifest when you don't close the door on yourself right away, when you don't maybe call quits right away, throw in the towel right away, but instead give yourself a chance. Or release these ideas, these notions of perfection that don't really help you, because all they do is limit you, close you. Because the closed door is making me think of someone who has this all or nothing mindset, or is unable to see the way through because they're so caught up, they're so focused on what didn't go right or what they think didn't go right. So unlock your mind. I feel like there's something here about your mentality, your mindset, your mind, a programming that needs to be like shifted, or maybe this is about you unlocking a new mindset that is productive, that is conducive to your growth, to your betterment and your development, as well as your happiness, your inner joy. Yeah, so again, I feel like this goes back to you in some kind of way. It has a lot to do with your mindset, with your inner world, your inner being, and how you are working with yourself and what steps you are taking, right? Not to manifest something in specific, but more like to help yourself in the here and now. What steps can you take to maybe improve your health or improve your sleep quality if it's been not that great, or how to improve your mobility, maybe through physical training, or a little bit of stretching. These are just examples. Because this again could be anything that will apply to you, anything that makes sense to you, anything that will help in some kind of way, whether you might perceive it as it being small or big help. The important thing is that it helps in some kind of way. Little steps can lead to bigger steps, can lead to leaps. So this is about like taking steps. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys. And what I'm hearing is unlock the mind. Unlock the mind. don't limit yourself. I feel like this will happen when you're no longer limiting yourself, when you're no longer putting yourself down before you even try, when you're not letting insecurities, doubts, or fears keep you from trying or experimenting or exploring. Okay, but now I want to reveal the message that is on the back of this card, and we have, and the secret garden bloomed and bloomed, and every morning revealed new miracles. Oh, and this is said by Francis. I love this because this makes me think of one thing after another thing flourishing, blooming. I think this is also talking about like your confidence, right? Your self-assertion, your self-esteem, like slowly flourishing. Like maybe as you face one thing after another, you become more confident. You feel a little bit more sure of yourself. And every morning revealed new miracles. Oh, this is also making me think of someone who is looking forward to the next day or has this more optimistic mindset of every day offers a new opportunity, right? Every day is a new opportunity. Every day, every moment it's a chance to live, to try something new, to do something differently, to show up differently, to think differently. We can reset ourselves, reset our day at different points within a day. You don't need to wait until the end of a day and the start of a new day to start over or to shift things or to shift your mindset. You can do that within a day. It takes a moment. It takes a moment maybe with yourself. It takes a moment of giving yourself a chance to take a new approach or to clear your mind or to come back to center or to be kind to yourself, be a little bit more gentle. Yeah. The message giving yourself a chance keeps coming to mind. But let's see. The numbers 1 and 30 and 47, but specifically 1 and 30 are really standing out to me. And what I'm seeing in specific is the date, January 30th. So that date could be of significance. But again, if we reduce 30 by adding 3 and 0, we get 3. So the number 3, 1 and 3 seem to be of significance as well. And then, 10, if we reduce it, we get 1. Oh, and then if we reduce 47 by adding 4 and 7, we get 11. So 11, 1, 3, 1, 11, 3, 11, 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1. Those numbers could be of significance. But I'm also getting within a month or 3 months' time. Aries season could be of significance as well. Aries or Leo season is what came to mind. But I definitely feel like for the vast majority, something will manifest either around your solar return, on the month that you were born, or on the season of your sun sign. But these are all the messages coming through for you guys. Things I want to point out, radishes as well as turnips could be of significance. Horseshoes, keys or keyholes could be of significance as well. Horses, white horses to be specific, as well as the year of the horse, the year of the fire horse. And there's something about patterns, like geometric patterns, geometric designs that could be of significance, as well as tiles, like mosaic art or patterns in tiles. Tile patterns, something along those lines. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. I know it gave different interpretations. I had a feeling this would happen because I'm assuming several people are going to tap into or tune into one group. So it'll be crazy if when it comes to the specifics, the same thing applies to multiple people. I mean, it could happen, but there is going to be slight variation. So only take what resonates, what you feel like, hey, yeah, that makes sense to my situation, or I can see how that definitely would apply, and leave what doesn't fit, right? As I've said before, if the shoe doesn't fit, don't force it to fit. Just let it be because it belongs to somebody else. Oh, by the way, there's something about a door. A sign for you that something is about to manifest will be when a door is changed, like a literal physical door is changed, or a door is painted, or it's adjusted or fixed, something along those lines. Okay, but these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages. Thank you so very much, and I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the Sketchpad, bienvenidos to your reading. So when meditating on the energy of this group, the song Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield played in my mind. And this song has popped up in multiple general readings as of late, so I wonder if any one of you has tuned in to another one of my readings where I have mentioned that song. Because if you have, first of all, that's pretty cool. And second, that may be an indicator that this song is some kind of confirmation for you to let you know, yep, this is the group that has a message meant for you to hear at this moment. Or it could just be a confirmation song of yours in general. But the specific line of this song that played in my mind was, release your inhibitions. So you are being advised at this moment to release your inhibitions. Or at the time in which whatever you're inquiring about or thinking about will manifest for you will be when you would have or are releasing your inhibitions. Yet another message that came through was look for. So you may be being advised to pay attention or note the signs or confirmations being given to you about your manifestations. I heard in my mind, the signs are there. You are receiving confirmations. So if anything ends up standing out to you or has stood out to you recently and you wondered, is that a sign? Is that a confirmation? Especially if you've asked the universe if, let's say, something is going to manifest for you, or if you are on the right track, something along those lines, then know that yes, it is or it was a sign or a confirmation. Now, the following message might only be for a select few of you, which is if you are an artist, an artiste, if you paint, if you draw, if you create art, you are being reassured that it is okay to try and or experiment with a new medium, with a new form or style. And what I heard in specific was you can try digital art. It is okay for you to do so. Or it could be the other way around. If you have been curious about trying a more traditional art form or style, then you're being encouraged to do so. But regardless of whether you create art, you are an artist, you think of yourself as a creative, you are being advised to give yourself permission to let loose every once in a while and create something, whether it be a doodle, a snowman, a sandcastle, bake a cake, a muffin, cook a new dish, or write a poem or make up a game without worrying so much about the end result or whether or not you are creating art or something beautiful, something that belongs or could belong in a museum or could be shared with others. Just create for fun, amusement, or even for contemplation, for relaxation. That will help. That is what I heard. That will help. Okay, but I am now going to move on to finding out the when will this manifest for you. And by the way, there is a message on the back of the card that you were drawn to, which I will reveal to you at the end of your reading. Or nearing the end of your reading. Okay. So we have the 11th house with Saturn in Aquarius and the key term eccentricity. I find this quite interesting because Aquarius, I feel, is quite uninhibited. Aquarius tends to march to the beat of their own drum and don't really care about social norms and conventions or labels. So, at the time in which this will manifest for you will be when you yourself are releasing all inhibitions. When you are letting loose, having fun, and staying true to you. You are very much going with the flow and experimenting quite a bit to get to know yourself a little bit better. So, when this manifests for you, will be a time in which you're not really forcing yourself to align with certain things that you do not resonate with at all. Though I will say, I am sensing a little bit of forcing in the sense of there could be certain things that you might want to relate to, even if you don't at the core. It's making me think of like two pieces of a puzzle that don't fit, but someone is trying to force them to fit because they somewhat look pretty together, right? Or they like how they look together. And so this is a time in which you definitely will be experimenting, but at first you could be trying things that you believe you should like or that you believe do like fit or match your aesthetic, let's say, or are in character with you, something along those lines. But I think very, very soon you will realize that forcing yourself to stick with things that you don't really like for the sake of, let's say, appearances, or because you think or you believe or you were made to believe that these are things that are meant for you or that match you, is not worth it, because it feels, or it will feel, a lot more freeing to you to engage with things that resonate with you, even if they don't fit an aesthetic, even if they don't match an image that you've created about yourself or about your preferences, your ideals, your likes, or even your life. So, when this manifests for you, will be a time in which you will be realizing a lot of things about your preferences, your likes, your dislikes, and about your persona, your personality as well. Yeah, so your ideals possibly could be changing at this time, or when this manifests for you, you yourself might be feeling a little bit differently, and you might even look slightly different. Because I am picking up on something about aesthetics. So maybe the way that you dress, the way you do your hair, your makeup if you wear makeup, the way you accessorize if you do, could look or be different in some way. Also, your speech, and there's something about the mind. Oh, your thoughts being different as well. If you experience a lot of mental chatter, there could be less of that during this time, or it could be a lot more selective, is what I heard. Your thought process will be very different. What I'm experiencing right now is ease and lightness. So, if let's say there is a lot going up in your head, I feel like at this time, there still might be some mental chatter, but this chatter won't be unpleasant. It will be less heavy, is what is coming through. I keep seeing images in my mind. So if you visualize, or if you constantly receive or see images in your mind's eye, during this time, images will still keep popping up in your mind, but they will be different. They will be a lot more pleasant, is what I heard, inspiring. They will align with your preferences. They will align with what you're interested in and what soothes you, what relaxes you, and uplifts you. So what I heard in my mind is being in the right headspace. So when this manifests for you, you will be in the right headspace, or you will be in a headspace that won't cause anxiety, that won't have you worrying or feeling out of sorts. Your mind will be thinking or conjuring images of things that align with what you want to manifest, what resonates with you. And so this is a time in which authenticity will be a big theme for you, or you will feel like you're coming into your own. What I heard in specific is you won't feel like you're struggling to be like yourself or more like yourself, which, if that doesn't resonate with you, then just let it fly. But if it does, I sense you will understand what this is referring to. But there's definitely something about like daydreams and where your mind wanders to, what you end up focusing on, thinking about, you experiencing a shift in your headspace, being a sign or an indicator that this is about to manifest for you. This is also a time in which exploration, experimentation could be a huge theme in the collective or in a community. You might be seeing a lot of changes, maybe a lot of like newcomers in a community or in a certain field, like in the entertainment industry, for example, who are trying new things, who are experimenting, who are coming up with maybe like new music genres. Or let's say in the tarot reading community, you're starting to see new tarot readers who are offering readings in a completely different way. Yeah, so you may be witnessing a lot of non-conventional approaches or very conventional, very traditional approaches, so traditional or old-fashioned is what I heard, that they seem a little out of place in a very eccentric, futuristic, or new age world or community. But if you are an artist, if you are a creator, when this manifests for you will be when you are exploring and experimenting with a new art form, style, medium. The illustration and the eccentricity card is making me think of like merging two different styles, merging two different genres. So there could be a lot of that, like mixing, merging, and fusing two different things. You may also be like balancing quite a bit, like working on two projects at the same time, or balancing two different careers, professions, or passions is what I heard, like hobbies. But there is something about you connecting or finding a way to connect or bring together or make interact the different things that you're working on or are developing. Just as an example, I always give this example, but let's say someone who is currently a psychology major who is interested in the tarot or in the divination arts ends up fusing these two things, psychology with divination, psychology with tarot, at the time in which something manifests for them. The zodiac sign Pisces could be of significance, but the fish here is making me think of dreams. So during this time, you may also be having a lot of vivid dreams or telling dreams, like prophetic dreams. There could be some astral traveling, astral projecting going on. I also heard remote viewing, but I do see the dream space being of importance. Some of you could be getting really into the esoteric, metaphysics. You could be reading books about astral traveling, astral projecting, the clairs. I don't really like to talk about this in my readings, but it is coming through, so I don't want to just ignore it, which is, for some, you could be experimenting or exploring with, or maybe just investigating, learning more about psychedelics, or I don't even know what to call it, like earth medicine that are used in certain spiritual rituals that allow for some sensory experiences, something along those lines. But again, if this does not resonate with you at all, if you're not interested in this at all, then please discard this message. It is not for you. Now, because the 11th house is the house of communities, friend groups, and Aquarius is known to be the sign of technology, innovation, and revolutionary breakthroughs. At the time that this manifests will be when you're either collaborating, working with others, to create something revolutionary. That would be the intent, to create something that will revolutionize an industry, a field, or that will bring something new to the mix, is what I heard. Or you will be learning through observation, learning through observing others, or learning from working with or alongside people who are bringing something new and different to the table, who are experts in their own field. I am picking up on self-studying. So this is a time in which you might be doing a lot of self-studying, self-learning, or in which there will be a lot of curiosity. At the time that this manifests for you, you may be making new acquaintances, or you could be interacting with people who are hungry for knowledge, who are very curious themselves, who are quite eccentric or old-fashioned is also what I heard. They could also be really into something. Like they might know a lot about a specific topic, or they could love geeking out about a show, a series, or a specific medium. But it's very likely that at the time that this manifests for you, you would have found one or more people who you get along with quite well, and you can be yourself with. Like you can be silly, goofy. You don't feel the need to perform. Though I also feel like at this time you would still be connecting with people in which it's the complete opposite. You are finding yourself at times performing or feeling this need to perform, maybe this need to impress. And if that is the case, please remember that with friends, you don't have to perform. Your friends will remember to make room for you at the table and save a seat for you without you needing to ask for that space. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you are learning that it's okay to be yourself, that it's okay to be uninhibited sometimes, and possibly even a little strange, whatever that might mean. I apologize if this sounds strange, but you're being let know that it's okay if you don't have something to say at times. Like it's okay if all you want to be is in silence with another. Again, there's something about not needing to perform. You don't have to perform, and you don't have to be performing all of the time. If you have found someone in which, or you ever find someone in which you can be in comfortable silence with them, someone who you don't feel pressure to entertain them or to, make them laugh or amuse them or pique their interest, then that person could be a keeper. Because most of the time, I'm not saying always, but most of the time, when that happens, it's with people who we genuinely feel at ease with and comfortable with and can be ourselves with. Yeah, so it's something to keep in mind. Yeah, so at the time that this manifests, you could be meeting someone like that, or you could be spending a lot of time with someone who you experience this with. But one thing is for sure, you yourself will be experiencing a lot of curiosity at this time. And some of you may be working with technology. I did mention something about digital art. So you could be moving on to a digital form, a digital medium during this time, or easing into it. Or it could be the other way around, going from digital to analog. I wonder if some of you are programmers, software engineers, or if you are currently developing an app or you have plans to do that, you're kind of interested in that. Because if so, I feel like when this manifests for you will be when you will be either working on developing a software program, maybe an app, or you will be learning about coding, programming, maybe taking a programming software engineer class, something along those lines. But there is definitely something about technology and computers. Also, social media, you could be quite involved in, or you could be using social media in some kind of way to share your art with the public, or to get your art, your work out there. If you are a creator, or you could be using social media as a way to educate you about maybe what is trending or what the public needs, what is needed. The 11th house is also the house of humanitarian causes. So some of you could also be inventing or developing or researching something that is meant to help a certain community or is meant to aid an environmental cause, for example. I heard the phrase technological advances. So there could be a lot of like technological advances during the time that this manifests for you. Or maybe it is you who is developing something that will help advance technology during this time. But I am thinking of an announcement, like for example, Apple announcing a new product line that is completely different from what we have seen, or in general, a new tech being launched that introduces something completely new to the tech world. Yeah, and now I'm thinking of AI. So something could be happening with AI during this time, or if you are an artist who is concerned about the use of AI in the art world, yeah, something major could be happening in regards to that during this time. I feel like a law could pass because Saturn is the planet of discipline, the planet of law and structure. So yeah, laws could be passing about that, the use of AI, or artists could be advocating for themselves, standing up for their rights. So there could be a lot of like revolution during this time in the art world, in the creative world, not just through innovation, but also in how creators, artists, the people themselves are standing up for themselves, for their rights, for their freedom of expression. But I definitely see a few. So it's like, instead of going against each other, going against technology, we're finding a way to work with it. We're finding a way to live in harmony with it and to create something beautiful with it. Interesting. Or this will manifest at the time in which you are updating your tech, or it will be right after you have received, have been gifted, or bought new tech. At the time that this manifests for you, you may be making new acquaintances, or you could be interacting with people who are quite eccentric or old-fashioned is also what I heard. They could also be really into something. Like they might know a lot about a specific topic, or they could love geeking out about a show, a series, or a specific medium. But it's very likely that at the time that this manifests for you, you would have found one or more people who you get along with quite well, and you can be yourself with. Like you can be silly, goofy. You don't feel the need to perform. Though I also feel like at this time you would still be connecting with people in which it's the complete opposite. You are finding yourself at times performing or feeling this need to perform, maybe this need to impress. And if that is the case, please remember that with friends, you don't have to perform. Your friends will remember to make room for you at the table and save a seat for you without you needing to ask for that space. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you are learning that it's okay to be yourself, that it's okay to be uninhibited sometimes, and possibly even a little strange, whatever that might mean. I apologize if this sounds strange, but you're being let know that it's okay if you don't have something to say at times. Like it's okay if all you want to be is in silence with another. Again, there's something about not needing to perform. You don't have to perform, and you don't have to be performing all of the time. If you have found someone in which, or you ever find someone in which you can be in comfortable silence with them, someone who you don't feel pressure to entertain them or to, make them laugh or amuse them or pique their interest, then that person could be a keeper. Because most of the time, I'm not saying always, but most of the time, when that happens, it's with people who we genuinely feel at ease with and comfortable with and can be ourselves with. Yeah, so it's something to keep in mind. Yeah, so at the time that this manifests, you could be meeting someone like that, or you could be spending a lot of time with someone who you experience this with. Okay, but now I'm going to move on to the how. So we have the Queen of Hearts with number 23, the ring. Ooh, and then we have listen with use your ear to hear all that it can hear. Your hearing may be extra heightened right now. Take the time to listen before you speak. Listen to your inner voice and the voice of others. There may be something that you could miss if you aren't fully aware. There could also be an energy that surrounds you that listens very well. And we have the number 31. I don't know if I already mentioned that. So there's a lot of creative energy coming through in this reading. The number 31 could be of significance. I wonder if some of you are 31 years of age. I'm also seeing 23. Or if it's when you turn 23 and 31, that something will manifest for you. But, again, only take that which resonates and applies to you. Leave what does not. I am being reminded of the message that came through at the beginning. Look, and then we have listen, which makes me think of the senses and the clairs. The ring here makes me think of touch. How this will manifest for you is what I heard in my mind is through a promise, through a commitment. Okay, actually, different interpretations are coming through. So, one of the interpretations that is coming through is someone will be coming in with an offer, someone will be making you a proposal. This could have something to do with employment, someone offering you employment, a job position, or if you are a freelancer, this could be about a commission. Right? But I do get this feeling of collaboration. It's like you're either introduced to a new medium, a new format, or an idea via you working with someone or you providing a service to another, or through you working somewhere, or it is through you working somewhere or working on a project, working on a commission, for example, that you discover something, you make way for this to manifest. Yeah, because I did talk about how when this manifests for you will be a time in which you're experimenting, exploring, right? Or possibly even developing it or creating something. So yeah, I feel like how this will come about is through you actually being handed something to do or being given the opportunity to work on something or to maybe work for or work with another. Yet, because we do have the Queen of Hearts, which reminds me of the Queen of Cups, who is very intuitive and psychic, it seems like your intuition, your clear senses, or even instincts will play a big part in how this manifests for you. I'm not sure what it is that you are inquiring about, but what is coming through in this reading is this which will manifest is an idea, like an idea made reality, or like the offspring is what I heard of an idea. Because what I'm seeing is you will be offered an idea. You will be receiving by the divine or by your inner being. You will be receiving an idea, and it's up to you to listen, to take this idea and like roll with it and bring it to life. Right? So at the time that you are experiencing curiosity, you will be receiving a lot of ideas, right? And a lot of these ideas might be coming to you while you are asleep in your dream space, and you will be recalling them when you awake, and you're being advised to not dismiss them or set them aside, but instead pay attention to them. Consider them. There's something about listening, but I feel like this is more so about paying attention. And the ring here is making me think again of commitment. So how this will manifest is when you commit to an idea, when you pay attention to what you are receiving via ideas, via inspiration. Because what I just heard in my mind was someone going, aha, or someone kind of gasping because they've thought of something, like they've thought of an alternative way to go about something. But what's important is that they don't just think about this, right? They don't just become excited about this thought, but that they also try it out, right? That they give it a chance, that they give themselves an opportunity to think more on it and see how they can work with it, how they can apply it. Because it is through that this will manifest, that this, whatever this is that you're inquiring about, although I keep saying that, but I feel like a lot of you are not really inquiring about something in specific. I mean, you may be, but I do feel like some of you don't really have a specific thing in mind that you are wanting to know when and how it will manifest. Because I feel like what I'm channeling here, what I'm looking into, is a manifestation that will be a bit of a surprise for some of you guys, right? That will be the result of you running with an idea, experimenting, exploring, trying out new things, or trying out an idea of yours that comes to you in the moment. Or as you are solving a problem, as you are facing a challenge, or when you are exposed to something new, when you are being presented with something new. Right? All of a sudden, I thought of someone walking through a museum and they're looking at these different paintings and these different art styles, and that's when inspiration strikes. That's when maybe curiosity hits them and they start imagining how it would look like if they incorporated two different art styles in their next art project, something along those lines. That was just an example again. Yeah, so listen to your wonderings, right? Those questions of like, what if I tried that? Or how would that look like? Or would that work? Especially when you are experiencing a lot of curiosity, when you are feeling a bit inventive and explorative, because that is how this will manifest, through you actually answering your own wonderings and questions through actual experimentation, through actual trial. But intuition will definitely be important, because something else that is coming through is how this will manifest is through you following what your intuition is telling you, through you listening to your gut instincts, your gut feelings. Because I do see you being offered job opportunities or collaborative opportunities. But the thing here is, there will be some offers that you might need to reject, or that will be, let's say, no good for you, that might simply end up being a form of distraction, or will maybe delay this manifestation. So what you're being advised is to be honest with yourself. As mentioned before, there could be points in which you might want to stick with things that you deep down know and feel are not for you or do not resonate with you. But for this to manifest, it seems like you will have to be honest in a way where, if something doesn't feel right, if your gut is telling you, I know this looks pretty, I know this sounds great, but it's just not it, it's not for us, not right now, to listen to that. Because only through you doing so will you be directed, or it's more like the path will be cleared for you to come into alignment with those offers that will give you that opportunity to make this manifest, right? Or to manifest this, whatever this may be for you. Pay heed to your inner guidance, your gut feelings, your intuition. Listen to that inner voice that might be a little bit subtle at times, that confirms to you what you already feel and know deep within. The year 2023 could be of significance. The ring all of a sudden made me think of a wedding, and the key term eccentricity made me think of like an eccentric wedding. That just came out of the blue. I heard actions speak louder than words. Listen carefully, look closely. Don't wait for the world to change. Be the change in the world. Okay, but let's see. The Queen of Hearts, as mentioned before, reminds me of the Queen of Cups in traditional tarot, which is a water sign. So I'm seeing Pisces, Aquarius, and water signs, which will be Cancer, Pisces again, and Scorpio. These seasons could also be of significance. Pisces and Cancer season in specific could be of significance. I heard eccentric bride, eccentric groom. I wonder if some of you are inquiring about a wedding. I didn't get the vibe of that all throughout the reading until now, until recently when I mentioned a wedding. But some of you may be wondering about the when and how that's going to manifest or happen for you. Yeah, and as mentioned, I see an eccentric wedding ceremony, or an eccentric marriage arrangement. A bit unorthodox, or like I said before, it could be the other way around where it's very, very traditional, like where old customs, wedding or marriage ceremony customs are brought back, that it seems different. And if you are inquiring about like long-term commitment, marriage, the message for you is listen to your heart and you will know. Okay, but let's see, anything I want to point out? Rings, fishes, flowers, flower stems, bouquets, roses, red roses to be more specific, could be of significance. There's also something about fusion, hybrids, and the senses, the clairs. At the time that this manifests, you might be experiencing one or more clair senses, like clairaudience is what is coming through, clairvoyance also, clairsentience, and claircognizance. I wonder if any one of you have tried automatic writing or automatic drawing, channeling through writing, free writing, or drawing. If you haven't and you ever feel inspired to do so, please do so. I feel like you might find that that's a form or a divination method that you can use to channel messages for yourself or messages for others, perhaps. I just heard in my mind, it doesn't have to look a certain way for it to be real or for it to matter or for it to make a positive difference. It can be just as meaningful, just as significant, just as memorable, lovely, and beautiful, regardless of whether it looks like something or if it looks a certain way or not. There's something about medieval times, Renaissance, that is coming through, or a castle, like a castle, a very old, very, very old building or town is coming through. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Maybe some of you will be visiting or touring a castle, or be attending a medieval fair, a Renaissance fair, at the time that this manifests for you. Yeah, but I'm just sharing it with you guys because it came through. Interesting. Flowers could also be of significance, especially drawings of flowers. But the message on the back of the card that you were drawn to is create something beautiful. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you are creatives, or this manifestation could have something to do with a creation. Yeah, but I'll give you a closer look at the illustration in the back in case there's anything that stands out to you. What's standing out to me is this flower here, the color blue, the green ink. Oh, the wings of the monarch butterfly. Butterflies could be of significance. We also have white butterflies, could also be moths. The droplets here make me think of rain. If you were inquiring about a wedding, you may have a very colorful wedding, or the day of your wedding might be very colorful. There could be a rainbow. You might be seeing a rainbow on the day of your wedding, or right before or after your wedding ceremony. Yeah, okay. But these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you are new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background. Thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much. And I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the strawberry, bienvenidos to your reading. So the message destined to meet came to mind, and I do sense that some of you are being advised to relax and let the answer come to you. Interesting. And I will say the strawberry here is making me think of prosperity, fruition, and opulence. It is also making me think of fertility and youthfulness. Interesting. I wonder, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because I have yet to pull out more cards, but I wonder if some of you are inquiring about love and relationships, a connection. If you're not, I hope me mentioning that doesn't deter you from listening to the rest of this reading, because like I said, I have yet to draw out more cards, and my intention is not to figure out what it is that you're manifesting. It's simply to look into the when and how whatever it is that you're inquiring about and are wondering about will end up manifesting for you. I just felt called to mention that because it did come through, and if you are inquiring about that, then me mentioning this could be a confirmation of sorts that there are messages meant for you in this reading. But just as a side note, I'm also picking up on career and finances. So maybe for some, your manifestation could be in regards to that. But let me now move on to the other cards. So first I'm going to look into the when. When is this going to manifest for you? Okay. And we have the first house with Jupiter in Aries and Enterprise. Yeah, I feel like this might have something to do with career, with finances. Yeah, because, oh, I forgot to mention, when I looked at the strawberry and I spoke of prosperity and opulence, what I was envisioning in my mind was actually, or what I was seeing in my mind's eye was actually an acorn. And then we have acorns here in the Enterprise card. So acorns and strawberries, as well as flowers, could be of significance. Ooh, but now that I mentioned all of that, spring season could be of significance. It could be during spring season that this will manifest for you. The month of May in specific is coming to mind. So if you are in the northern hemisphere, then definitely keep an eye out for the month of May. So what I'm seeing in specific is when the flowers bloom and the trees give fruit, that's when this will manifest for you. The illustration in the Enterprise card is reminding me of the divination arts, because palmistry is being depicted here. So around the time that this manifests for you, you will be receiving a personal reading. It could be a tarot reading, but it doesn't have to be, because I'm also seeing a palmistry reading, an astrology reading. But I do see you resorting to some kind of divination method to receive personal guidance and or messages around the time that this manifests for you. Some of you may be learning more about or looking into astrology, palmistry, or a divination method in specific. But I feel like I'm going off track because all of a sudden I got really tired and sleepy. So let me redirect. when this will manifest for you will be when you have either started a new enterprise, have recently been hired, or are working somewhere new, or are working under a new or different title, job title, or have been promoted to or assigned a new role, a new job position. Or it may be when you are putting into practice a career or profession of yours. Or this will manifest when you have turned a hobby into a profession, or when you are making financial profit from a passion of yours, a skill or a talent. If you are currently running a small business or you are an entrepreneur, this will manifest when you have done something new or different with your business. It could be right after you have revamped your business or taken your business in a new direction, or maybe integrated something new to it. Because what is coming through in specific is launching a new product, offering a new service, or adding a new department is also what is coming through, because I'm seeing something about branching out. If you have like a physical store, like a physical location where you offer services or you sell products, etc., this may manifest at the time in which you are making modifications to this physical location, maybe expanding it, like adding a new room to it or remodeling it. Yeah, but I definitely feel like at the time that you manifest this, you will be either starting something new or making or experiencing changes, positive changes is what is coming through. Because I'm seeing development and fruition in the area of career, profession, and enterprises or creative endeavors. And one thing for sure is things will be faring very well for you during this time. Like, I see things being very fruitful in the areas of career, finances, work, enterprises, endeavors. The planet Jupiter is the planet of expansion and growth. So one thing I'm seeing for those of you who are business owners or who are planning to start a business is that during this time, your business will be flourishing and it will be growing. For those of you who are on social media, I don't know why, but the number one made me think of social media, publicity, as well as marketing. When this manifests for you will be when you are attracting a lot of positive attention, when your audience is growing, or your channel, social media page, or even blog, if that applies to you, is growing. It's gaining traction. For those of you who own or have or are planning to open up an online shop, you will be receiving a lot of requests, or you will be fulfilling a lot of orders. So you might find yourself pretty busy at the time that this manifests for you. Busy and prosperous is what is coming through, because I do see you profiting, making money from your enterprises, endeavors, making a living, making a lot of money off a job, a career, a profession. The hand is really standing out to me. So some of you could be profiting from working with your hands, maybe selling something that you created with your own hands, or maybe your job will involve you working with your hands. But not much more is coming through, actually. All I see is this will manifest for you when you are experiencing prosperity, when things are going financially well for you or better for you. Your financial situation is improving. It will also be at a time where you are putting into practice your profession, your talents, your skills, and making money off of that. And when you are getting hands-on and getting very involved in the area of career, work, profession, if you have a business, it will be when you will be very involved in your business, getting quite hands-on with it, either through making repairs to it is what I heard, or zhuzhing it up a little bit, adding new things to it. It could be when you are focusing on marketing, how to better market your business. If you don't have a business, but like as mentioned before, you are on social media, then this will manifest when you are getting actively involved in shaping your public image or looking for ways to increase engagement. But one thing is for sure, when this manifests for you, it's when your attention will be on the area of life of career, finances, profession, line of work, public image. Yeah, but that's all that I'm getting so far. Let me now move on to the how. The color pink could be of significance. All of a sudden, I thought of a baby shower. Maybe someone will be celebrating or throwing a baby shower around the time that this manifests for you. Or someone will be announcing a pregnancy or will be throwing a gender reveal party at the time that this manifests for you. And this someone will be an individual or individuals that you know, right? Like a relative, a friend, maybe a coworker. It could even be you. Maybe it's you who is announcing a pregnancy, perhaps. But for the how, we have the 7 of spades, number 25, the clouds, and the underestimated card with number 38, and the message you'll understand with distance, as well as there may be something you are unsure about, but when it's gone, it will be understood fully and even missed. Even if there is a struggle involved, try not to hide the feeling away. Take nothing for granted and acknowledge how distance can allow for the answer to your question. Interesting how this message came through. Acknowledge how distance can allow for the answer to your question, because the message that came through at the beginning before drawing out these cards here was relax and the answer will come to you. So I wonder if recently you had an inquiry and you are being let know that your inquiry will be answered once you distance yourself from the problem, or once you maybe, this might sound a little harsh, but once you stop asking. Especially if you've been asking the same question over and over, or it's been replaying in your mind again and again, you're being let know as soon as you drop the question and kind of distance yourself from the inquiry, or maybe the worry, if this has something to do with a worry or concern of yours, then the answer will come to you. The answer will be exposed or revealed to you. Because if any of that resonates with you, I feel like it's the asking, the constantly inquiring about this, that is actually distracting you from the answer, or it's clouding your mind or making you feel like you don't know the answer yet, or you don't have the answer yet, when in actuality that might not be so true. And now, because I mentioned the divination arts and palmistry and a personal reading, I wonder if some of you have been asking for personal readings with the intention of having a specific question or concern of yours answered. For example, every time you ask for a personal reading, you're asking the same question or you're asking about the same thing. So it seems that you are being advised to take a break from asking the same question, because it is the act of asking the same question that is keeping you in a loop. It is programming your brain to believe that it still does not know the answer, when in actuality it does. In other words, it seems that you indeed know or already have the answer to your question. If this resonates with you, then you are being advised to not loop back to the question, but instead face the answer. Because in this case, if this resonates with you, this is how you help manifest what it is that you want. Others of you are simply being advised to surrender and to trust. That is, if your inquiries have to do with whether or not this will manifest for you. now I wonder if what you're being asked to kind of like remove your attention from is the manifestation itself. Because it's interesting how we have two hands here, like open palm hands. And that makes me think of release. And what is coming to mind is the analogy that I often give when speaking about manifestations, which is think of your manifestation as being a seed, like an acorn, for example. For the manifestation, for the seed to grow, it needs to be planted. And for it to be planted, you need to like release it. And then you need to trust, you need to let it be, right? Because if you don't let it be, then you will constantly be digging the seed out from the earth to check if it's rooting, if it's sprouting. And that's going to mess with the development of the manifestation, right? Because if you're constantly taking the seed, removing it out of the soil, then you're not letting it root. So there's something here about like releasing, letting be. The moment that you do, that's when this will manifest, and that's how this will manifest as well. And how you can, let's say, create distance or release is through you redirecting your attention, focusing on something else. And it's interesting how I took the time to mention that when this will manifest for you is when you will be focusing on the area of career. So now I wonder if what you are inquiring about has nothing to do with career, finances, job. And because I did mention love and relationships at the beginning, as an example, if this manifestation has to do with love and relationships, and you're always asking, when am I going to meet my person? Or when will I meet the person who I'm going to enter into a romantic relationship with? Or when I'm going to meet the person that I'm going to enter into a platonic relationship with, etc., then how this will manifest in that situation is when the person removes their attention away from the area of love and relationships, let's say, and directs it to the area of career finances, when they prioritize that instead, right? So there's something here about like maybe possibly distracting yourself a bit from that which has been on your mind, from like the manifestation itself, because that is how this will end up manifesting. It's not so much about how, but more like what could help this manifestation come through or come to be. It's like by you focusing on something else. And if this manifestation has to do with career and finances, and you have been inquiring and or ruminating about something related to career, finances, profession, line of work, an enterprise, etc., then it's still the same thing, but instead of like focusing on a completely different area of life, you're being advised to focus on something else within this area of life. Because if what you're inquiring about, what you're worrying about, or if this manifestation has something to do with something that is currently out of your control, let's say, right, something that is not necessarily in your hands, in your power to change, then you focusing on this isn't doing much good to you, and isn't really speeding anything along, isn't going to make this manifestation happen anytime sooner or faster. And so in this situation, what you're being advised is to focus on that which you can like literally work on, which you can in a way control or manage or make positive changes and differences in. Something else that I'm seeing here for the how is, again, the message of release. How this will manifest for you is when you either release yourself or you let go of that which no longer serves you, that which I would say confuses you, has you constantly experiencing ups and downs. Again, I'm thinking of like a job situation, like maybe moving out of a work environment that was unhealthy or was bringing you down in some kind of way. Because with underestimated here and the Seven of Spades and the clouds, I am seeing a situation in which someone was either being underpaid or they were being overworked and they were being underestimated, or someone felt underestimated at their workplace. They felt undervalued, or their work, their effort wasn't valued, and it wasn't fairly compensated either. The Seven of Spades reminds me of the Seven of Swords in traditional tarot. I know this deck has nothing to do with the traditional tarot, but that's just how I interpret it sometimes. And the Seven of Swords can speak of deceit and getting away with something. It can also speak of theft. So what I'm seeing here is a situation in which, again, someone was being overworked without fair compensation, or a lot was being asked and more like demanded of another, yet not much was being given in return to that person who was experiencing all of these demands, right? So something or someone was taking a lot from another, and they were getting away with it. So if you are currently in a situation, whether it be like a work situation, or it could even be a relationship where there is maybe a lack of reciprocity, or there's some kind of imbalance where someone is giving way too much, or someone is expected to give a lot while the other or the rest are just offering or giving back breadcrumbs, or there's a lot that is being expected of you, and you're not receiving anything in return for meeting these expectations, then it seems like how this will manifest for you is when you decide to choose something different for yourself, to choose something better. The clouds here is making me think of a lack of clarity. So something else I'm seeing here is how this will manifest for you is through you being honest with yourself, is through you accepting that something is unfair is what is coming through, or that something isn't exactly working out, or that it's time to possibly move on from or let go of a situation, of a job, or of someone who is maybe taking advantage of you in some kind of way, or who is causing you a lot of distress. Because I am picking up on confusion, like someone feeling a bit confused, someone going back and forth, not knowing what to do. But I feel like it's not because they themselves are lacking clarity, but rather because a situation or an environment makes it difficult for them to think clearly, makes it difficult for them to see clearly. Like a situation itself confuses them or gives them false information that goes against what they already know deep within, that goes against their own inner clarity, their own inner wisdom, and that ends up confusing them. So if there is an environment, maybe a partnership, a relationship, or a situation that you know every time you're like in it, wrapped up in it, you feel a little distorted, you feel not much like yourself, possibly you feel nervous, anxious, maybe even insecure, that is the situation you're being advised to distance yourself from. Like give yourself a break from it, or separate yourself from it to regain and experience clarity once more. Because what I'm seeing in my mind is, a place where there's dark clouds, but then you move away from that place. You travel farther and farther away from it, and the sky becomes clear, right? Because the clouds, the heavy gray clouds, were only hovering above that one space. So an example that is coming to mind is if this is about financial prosperity and you are currently working somewhere, or you're being underpaid, or you're being overworked, or you're working in a very unhealthy, chaotic environment with like mean bosses or supervisors, something along those lines, because I'm also picking up on this respect with the Seven of Spades, then how this manifests for you is you leaving this work environment, quitting this job, because only then will you be able to come into alignment with the job that will bring you prosperity, right? Or only then will you maybe make time for you to start the enterprise that will bring you prosperity, right? That was just an example. That was the easy example I could think of to illustrate how this could play out in a specific situation. But apply the messages how they best resonate and fit your situation. But I'm also seeing that if it's not you who actively decides to walk away from something that does not serve you, that is not treating you well, that is not valuing you or valuing your work, your effort, your dedication, or even respects you is what is coming through, then this will be a situation in which that which doesn't align with you will be releasing you. It will be releasing you. In other words, how this will manifest for you is through an ending, through you experiencing an ending, or possibly even some kind of like redirection through rejection. So if any of this is resonating with you and you end up experiencing a redirection, remember it's because you're being released and redirected away from the word toxic keeps coming to mind. I don't like to use that word, especially when related to human beings, people. But what is coming through in specific is being released or redirected away from a toxic environment, a toxic situation, maybe an unhealthy relationship, or some kind of opportunity that looked like an opportunity that just wasn't what you were looking for, or would have caused you much distress or held you back if you had taken it. Yeah, so you might end up experiencing an ending before you experience a very fruitful new beginning, because we do have the number 1 here, and the number 1 indicates new beginnings. But this feels like a very prosperous start. So it's very possible that how this manifests will be through an ending or through a release. I'm also seeing like a redirection, because I did speak about you redirecting your focus onto something else to make way for this manifestation. So that's what I am seeing. And the message you'll understand with distance is, let's say if you do experience redirection through rejection, it won't be long after you experience this that you will come to understand the why this happened, or why this had to happen, right? Because look at what the star is reaching out for. I mean, the hand is reaching out for a star, and I see the star as your manifestation, your blessing. And so what you will come to understand is that, oh, that ending had to happen, that redirection had to happen to open the road for me to receive my true blessing, for me to come into alignment with my manifestation. Because we do have an open road here, so this is making me think of like whatever was blocking you is no longer blocking you. Like the road is open, and that is what is allowing for this to manifest, an open road. The number 7 could be of significance. We have 7 here, and then if we add 2 and 5 and 25, we get 7. And the number 1 can also be of significance. We have 1 in the Enterprise card, and then if we add up 3 and 8 and 38, we get 11. So I'm seeing 7, 1, 11, as well as 1, 11. And 1 and 7 is making me think of the number 17, which is making me think of the 17th major arcana of the deck, which is the star card. So the star card of the tarot could be of significance. The zodiac sign Aquarius could also be of significance. The star card can indicate wish fulfillment. It's also a card that represents hope and healing. It's also a card that can indicate popularity or positive exposure. Now that I said that, looking at the underestimated card, I'm sensing or picking up on an underdog story, or rags to riches story. Someone who was, in the shadows, going unseen for quite a while, all of a sudden rises to fame or becomes very popular or starts prospering. Yeah, so maybe some of you are currently in a situation that doesn't allow for you to shine, or that keeps you in the dark, or it doesn't allow for you to make good use of your talents, your skills, or doesn't encourage for you to further develop your skills and your talents. Oh, okay, that's another situation I'm seeing here. Because now underestimate is making me think of like possibly you underestimating yourself. So if you often tell yourself like, no, I can't do that, or I'm not good enough, etc., those are lies you're telling yourself. That's not the truth. So how this will manifest for you is once you stop repeating those lies, once you stop repeating to yourself those notions, those ideas that disempower you and that keep you playing it small, or keep you from pursuing maybe your dreams, or pursuing something that would require for you to make use of your talents or skills, or would require for you to challenge yourself in a healthy way, to further develop your skills or talents, or maybe even discover them. I wonder if some of you are holding on to something that doesn't really require for you to challenge yourself, that keeps you playing it small in some kind of way. Yeah, so maybe a mental shift, like a reprogramming of what you can and cannot do, what is and what isn't possible for you, is how this ends up manifesting for you. Because now looking at the underestimated card, what I'm seeing is a situation where someone continuously keeps thinking to themselves, that's way out of my league. That's way out of reach. I will never be able to experience that, or that will never happen for me, or I will never accomplish that, or it will take years and years and years for me to accomplish that. Because if so, it could be that mindset, it could be that sort of thinking that is in a way messing with this manifestation, because what I'm seeing is that it is within your reach. So maybe this manifestation is already there for you to take it, but for it to truly manifest for you, it will require for you to just like reach out and take it yourself. Or it might just require for you to stop convincing yourself that it's not possible for you, that it's not going to happen, that you continuously have to worry about this or keep questioning it. Because I feel like that is what is making it difficult for you to see that this is very possible for you, or that maybe it's already in the works, that it's already happening for you, or that all you have to do is possibly release something that doesn't align with what you do want to manifest to experience this manifestation. In other words, for some, this could be about you realizing and accepting that you deserve something better. You deserve better than maybe the disrespect that you are experiencing, or the lack of compensation, etc. It's realizing that you are worthy of something beautiful, you are worthy of more, perhaps. I now want to reveal the message that is on the back of the card that you were drawn to, and we have savor life. Interesting. Savor life. Reach out for that which brings you joy, that which fulfills you, and that which nourishes you, that which enriches your mind and your life. It makes you feel good, makes you feel healthy is also what is coming through. Yeah, because I'm picking up on health and opulence. Move away from that which depletes you and constantly drains you, through understanding and fully accepting that you are worthy of something that does the complete opposite, which is nourishes you and values you. This could also be about you moving towards something that you truly value. Okay, but things I want to point out, I already mentioned the color pink, acorns, flowers, strawberries, stars, the star card in the tarot, the zodiac signs Aries, Aquarius, the numbers 1, 7, 11, 111, and hands. Hands could be of significance. But these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you're new to the channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. If you're interested, all the information to that can be found in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. To all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and to support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much. And I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment, bye bye. Hello, if you were drawn to the blue bird, bienvenidos to your reading. I believe the illustration is of a blue sparrow, but I can't say for certain, so I'm just going to refer to it as the blue bird. But I do feel called to say that sparrows, more specifically blue sparrows, could be of significance. They might be a symbol of your manifestation, or a sign meant for you to indicate that what you're inquiring or wondering about will be manifesting soon. Yeah, so just something to consider and maybe keep an eye out or a lookout for. Yet when meditating on the energy of this group, a lot of different messages came to mind. One of them was the word enlisting. The second message was wait for the right time to start your new beginning. And lastly, look for me. Or right now, what I heard in my mind is keep an eye out for me. Interesting. So I wonder if some of you are inquiring about the arrival of a person or a specific someone, or maybe when and how a first encounter or a union is going to manifest. But this reading is not meant to focus on me figuring out what it is that you are manifesting, but rather when and how. So if what I said has nothing to do with your manifestation, don't worry about it. That just came through, maybe as a confirmation for some of you who needed it. But overall, I am sensing some kind of arrival, something incoming. So your manifestation may literally be on its way to you currently as I speak, or it will literally be heading your way, like traveling to you. I'm now thinking of a shipment or of like a letter or an email that gets sent. So to answer the how is it will be sent, it will be shipped, it will be delivered to you, or it will make its way, literally be traveling towards where you are located. Okay, but let me now move on to the rest of the cards. So first I will be drawing out an oracle card to find out the when. Birds do make me think of communication, so it seems like soon you will be receiving some kind of news, communication that will serve as confirmation. Confirmation that what you're asking about will manifest pretty soon, or will manifest, right? Because for example, if you're wondering, will this ever manifest? Is this something that can manifest? Then the answer to your question is yes, it will. And yes, this is something that definitely can and will manifest for you. It will happen. Okay, let's look at the when. I'm picking up on winter vibes. I heard winter solstice. I thought of the month of January as well as the month of October. So those months could be of significance. Let's see. So we have the 6th house with Saturn in Virgo and the key term isolation. The color pink could be of significance, could be an important color, a confirmation color. Maybe someone will be dressed in pink or will be wearing something pink when this manifests for you. This someone could be you, or maybe someone of importance, someone that may have something to do with this manifestation, if that applies and or resonates with you. Oh, what I also heard is the sky. The sky could be tinged pink. Blue and pink is what I heard, which I think those are the colors we see in the sky when the sun is rising, or normally those are the colors we see. So sunrises or even sunsets could be of significance. This may manifest at dawn, for example. And what I just heard in my mind was, and the skies will be clear. So on the day that this will manifest, the skies will be clear. The air will be clean and crisp is what I heard. It will be a beautiful day. And because we do have birds here, yeah, this could definitely be, it makes me think of how birds chirp and sing in the early morning as well as in the evening. So there's something here about early morning, or when the sun is starting to set. I'm also getting a lot of descriptions of nature. Nature seems to be of significance. So you may be outside when this manifests for you, or you're simply being let know that on the day and on the time that this manifests for you, the weather will be very pleasant and the birds will be singing and chirping. But at the time that this manifests, you might be either very busy, booked, and are quite focused on maybe your studies, your tasks, or your responsibilities. So much so that you might not be spending a lot of time outdoors or notice the beautiful weather. Because with the word isolation, I do see that at the time that this manifests for you, you are spending a lot of time indoors or cooped up somewhere. And you may also be spending a lot of time with yourself or by yourself. I am picking up on someone worrying. So at the time that this manifests for you, there might be a lot on your mind, or I will say you may find yourself overthinking certain matters or I can never pronounce this word. Catastrophizing? I believe that's how you pronounce it. A bit. Because I do get this vibe of someone worrying about something that maybe they don't really have to worry about. Or there's this feeling of someone creating worries and troubles for themselves. Maybe their imagination is getting a little carried away, and that is causing them some kind of distress. Thinking of like worst case scenarios or adding unnecessary pressure to the person whose imagination is getting carried away, causing the person some distress. Right? And I do sense this person to be you. So at the time that this manifests, I feel like you will be encouraged either by people around you, or it could even be by spirit, to loosen up, relax, and go out. Maybe even to stop isolating if you are isolating during this time. Yeah, because I do sense an encouragement to go outside, to be in nature, to feel the breeze and hear the birds singing. I wonder if you often receive confirmations via nature or through natural phenomenons like rainbows, for example. Because I feel like one of the reasons why you might be encouraged to go outside if you ever do find yourself being cooped up indoors will be because Spirit wants for you to see the signs that they are sending your way via or in nature. Or maybe you are being encouraged to spend a little bit more time outdoors or go outside, because that's the only way you will end up bumping into somebody important. At the time that this manifests for you, you might be receiving a lot of invitations to go out, or you could be receiving a lot of encouragement from not only spirit or even your inner being, your higher self, but also from people around you to go outdoors, or maybe just to loosen up a bit, go and have a bit of fun, or take a break from work, from studying, from overseeing some kind of responsibility or responsibilities. I am picking up on a little bit of coaxing. Someone may be coaxing you in some kind of way, kind of, again, encouraging you to go out. This might be for a select few, which is at the time that this manifests for you, there may be someone courting you, pursuing you. They could be persuading you to go out, go on a date with them, or they may be encouraging you to open up to them. Yeah, again, I'm picking up on someone coaxing another to let them into their heart or into their lives or maybe into their mind. Yeah, like share your thoughts with me. Tell me what's going on. Speak to me. Talk to me. That kind of situation. This could also be a case in which, at the time that this manifests, someone will be seeking your friendship. Someone may be wanting to get to know you. Yeah, because the bird made me think of communication. So there could be someone who will be wanting to initiate communication with you, or maintain communication with you. They may be putting in a lot of effort, going out of their way to connect with you, to get to know you, to befriend you, to gain your confidence, your trust. If you have siblings, at the time this manifests, your or one of your siblings will either be spending a lot of time with you, or they will be wanting to spend time with you. They could be the one encouraging you to go out, or they may be the one consoling you or reassuring you. For example, if you're worrying, then they will be the one reassuring you that everything is fine. And what I'm hearing in specific is someone will be reassuring you that you are doing well, because I feel like at the time that this manifests, you might be worrying about whether or not you're doing well, or you might be demanding a little too much of yourself or expecting a lot from yourself. And so I do see you being reassured not only by someone or by others, but also by spirit, that you're doing well and that you're enough. The color pink seems to be of great significance. I wonder if someone's aura has pinkish hues in it, or is predominantly pink, or someone's favorite color is or will be pink at the time that this manifests for them. But pink, the color pink makes me think of youthfulness. It also makes me think of the higher heart chakra. So at the time that this manifests, you may be experiencing a higher heart chakra activation, or you may find yourself being quite sentimental or feeling quite nostalgic. Emotions might be running high, or they could be a bit turbulent. I'm sensing sensitivity. You may be feeling a bit sensitive at the time that this manifests for you. I get the feeling that you guys are, in general, very sensitive. Like sensitive to the energies around you, sensitive to other people's emotional state, mood. You can easily detect when the mood in a room or in someone changes and or shifts. And if that resonates with you, that is the case. I feel like the reason why you might feel extra sensitive at the time that this manifests for you is because you are sensing and picking up on the shifts in the energy, right? You are picking up on that something is about to change or something is incoming. How it's coming through is you're feeling excited, but your body doesn't know what to do with this excitement, because it's a new kind of it's a new type of excitement. It's a little bit foreign, or it will be foreign to you, and so you might not know exactly how to deal with it or what to make of it. And that's why you might be feeling a little all over the place. And so there's a lack of steadiness because of the changes and the shifts in the energy as this is manifesting, as this is coming in or incoming. Pretty interesting. You may also be feeling a bit fatigued at the time that this manifests for you. And again, it could be because your sensitivities to the energies around you are taking a bit of a toll on you. Yeah, so and actually, if you ever do end up feeling this way, it might be a good idea to spend time in nature, because that might help you ground and feel a little bit more steady. And it will also help with clearing your mind, because I feel like at the time that this manifests for you, there might be a lot on your mind, or your thoughts might just be running in circles, or as mentioned before, your imagination might be getting a little carried away. Yeah, and so a good healthy distraction will definitely serve you well to come back to center, actually, to ground. Yeah, and good company will do you good as well. And there will be good company, friends, family. Something is coming through, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So I'm going to move on to the how this is going to manifest. Ooh, okay. Yes. So that card confirmed what was coming through. Let me censor this. I hope you can see it. Okay, but we have number 70 with penetration and infiltration, the message impose or access, as well as there is a strong energy trying to enter into your energy space in some way. It's a strong force you may not expect. There may also be a need for you to feel it necessary to impose yourself in a situation and make yourself known. Yeah, as mentioned, I feel like something is incoming. There's some kind of arrival, or there will be an arrival of sorts. But when I saw this card, I did see it as a confirmation to what I was speculating before, which is at the time that this manifests, someone will be receiving news that they are with child. Or what I just heard is there could be speculations about that, about whether or not someone is expecting a child. If you are not planning on conceiving anytime soon and you are sexually active, remember to use protection, because I do see a high likelihood, a chance of conceiving, getting pregnant in the year 2026 if you are watching this in the year 2026, because the number 6 made me think of the year 2026, or during the summer. But just in general, if you do not have any plans of getting pregnant, stay safe, okay? But if this is not about you, then definitely there could be news roaming around that maybe a loved one or someone that you know, like a friend or coworker, or just someone who you know of, could be with child or could be becoming a parent soon. But let me pull out the last card. So we have the 5 of clubs with the clover and the number 33. The 3-leaf clover is known to symbolize faith, hope, and love. So at the time that this manifests for you, you may be seeing a lot of symbols, a lot of signs, especially to reassure you that all is well or all will be well. But how this will manifest for you is through you receiving news. The message on the 5 of Clubs card reads, the clover leaf is a bearer of good tidings. But if near clouds, it denotes great chagrin. Yeah, and I find that interesting because I did take the time to mention how when this manifests for you, the skies will be clear. Right? So no clouds, but clear skies. So this indicates that you will be receiving good news. And how this will manifest for you will be through you receiving good news. The penetration card is making me think of something unexpected. So how this will manifest will be unexpected. I'm not sure if this will be or is the case for everyone, but what I am picking up on, or a bit of, is someone possibly feeling this manifestation to be a bit of an imposement. And what I heard in my mind just now is, why now? So maybe it's not that you're not happy about this manifesting, but rather that you weren't expecting for it to be now, or maybe you were waiting for it at some point, but then you stopped waiting for it, you stopped expecting it, and now that it's coming in, now that it's happening, you're feeling a little affronted by it. It's like, why now? Why after all this time? The 5 of Clubs can indicate action and change. And it's reminding me of the 5 of Wands in traditional tarot. I know this deck has nothing to do with the traditional tarot, but that's just how I read it sometimes. And the 5 of Wands can indicate competition. So, what I heard right now is competing for your attention. At the time that this manifests for you, there might be a lot going on in your life, or there's just a lot going on in your head, or you could be pretty wrapped up in something. right? So that when this manifests, it might feel like, ugh, it's not the right time for this. Oh, and now I'm being reminded of the message that came through at the beginning. Wait for the right time to step into your new beginning. I think it was something along those lines. And when that message came through, I really didn't know what it was about. I couldn't really figure it out. But now looking at the energy, it could be something along those lines where maybe you are very busy, or something else is on your mind. You feel like you have your hands full, or you wish that you could just dedicate more time to one certain thing, but then this manifestation comes in, because it feels like it just comes in, it like swoops in, it arrives, like you just receive news of it. It comes through news, it comes through like in a shipment, or it comes through some kind of unexpected event, and you're feeling a little, I wouldn't say necessarily upset about it, but a little confused, more like, because you're wondering why it had to happen now that you were focusing on this other thing, now that you have your hands full, now that there's all these other things happening in your life, or maybe now that you've decided to let go of this, possibly to no longer wait for it, to no longer expect it. But I feel what you're being let known is that everything will work itself out. Everything will settle at some point. There could be a waiting period. I am so sorry if this is so confusing. I'm trying to figure it out. It sort of feels like your manifestation, it's dropped on your lap, like on your doorstep. And it's so sudden, it's so unexpected, that you then have to take a moment, or just things have to take a moment in general to get arranged or settle, for someone, maybe you, to get adjusted, or for there to be enough time in order to fully appreciate this manifestation, right? Because as mentioned, at the time that this manifests, some of you might be pretty busy. And there's also this feeling of coming to a realization, like some of you might need a little time to adjust to the idea that this has manifested, or that this is now part of your reality, that it has arrived, or you might need some time to assimilate that this manifestation is now part of your reality. Yeah, because I feel like some of you had kind of like made up your mind that this wasn't going to happen, and so you kind of started planning your life without considering this. Just as an example, this is only an example to help illustrate the energy here. Let's say person A, for the longest time, was trying to manifest a love connection. But as more time passed and this didn't manifest, they began kind of losing hope and faith in this. And they decided to kind of like abandon this manifestation, not hope for it, not wait for it anymore, just let it be, let it go. And they began planning their life, their future differently, in a way that it didn't involve a love connection. It didn't involve a partnership of sorts. And they became invested in that new plan. And now, all of a sudden, a love connection manifests, and it takes them a little aback, because it's like, what? I've rearranged my plans, and now this love connection is here knocking on my door. Like, what? Yeah, so all I can say of how this is going to manifest is it's gonna be sudden. It's gonna be, as mentioned already several times, unexpected. And it might manifest at an inconvenient time. And it might also manifest via some competition. Again, when either a lot of things like responsibilities are competing for your attention, for your time, or it could be people. Like a lot of people are, in a way, competing against each other for your time, for your attention. Or this manifestation could be a prize that you win via some kind of competition. But there's this feeling of it's yours. Like, even if this is a prize won through a competition, and even though you might have needed to compete for it, in actuality there was no competition ever, because it was meant to be yours. Now I wonder if this is something that you might feel like you need to compete for. But what you're being let know is that this manifestation is meant to be yours. Like, it's in a way desperate to reach you. It wants to be with you, because I heard it was designed for you. That might be the case for some of you, or it was tailored to you. But it more so feels like this has been trying to reach you. Like this manifestation only has eyes for you. It wouldn't accept anyone else but you. Yeah, because this imposing energy feels a little intense. If you have been wanting to make your way to something, like make your way into something, I'm thinking of like claiming a spot somewhere. That spot is yours. That spot will be claimed by you, or again, you will be receiving news that that spot is yours. Right? I'm now thinking of acceptance letters. If this has something to do with being accepted or receiving some kind of acceptance, it's yours. It will manifest. And again, it will manifest through you. Ooh, through you? Okay, if this is a situation where you have to apply, right? Like apply to a school, apply to a program, or like a competition, right? Like a raffle, for example, you have to like enter the competition, let's say. How this will manifest is through you like actually applying, like sending out your application, enrolling, or entering. Because like once you do, it's yours. There's something I hear about like claiming it. Like you have to also accept it. Like it comes your way unexpectedly. It shows up at your doorstep. This wants to be a part of your life, or this wants to be accepted by you, but then it's up to you whether you do accept it. It's up to you whether you do reach out for it or make way for it. And for some, this could be a situation where to do so, you might need to like apply, right? Enroll. Petition for it is also what I heard. Or just be open to receiving it. Make space for it, make time for it, maybe open up to it. I feel like whatever this is, it's a blessing that keeps on giving. It might not seem like that way to you at the start, but I feel like from this, a lot of your other manifestations will come to be. Over time is what is coming through. What I'm seeing in my mind's eye, it's like those Russian dolls where there's a smaller doll inside the bigger doll. Yeah, so this manifestation comes with layers, and every layer is a blessing. Maybe in disguise or just a blessing in itself, something you have been in a way trying to manifest. I am thinking of you receiving news, and maybe the news in itself is not the manifestation, but it is through you receiving these news that the manifestation comes to be. That could be the case for some of you, because I do see the situation where, maybe something unexpected happens, something that maybe you weren't looking forward to or you're not very enthusiastic about, but it is through this happening that you are kind of directed or redirected to your manifestations, what kind of gives way for what you are wanting to manifest. I'm not seeing this being a case of like divine redirection through rejection, but more like something has to happen first for this to manifest. And this something first is that which is unexpected. And what is this unexpected thing? A key. And then we have the 4 clubs, number 4. Yeah, it's like you're being given the key to unlock the door that has your manifestation waiting on the other side of it. And the key makes me think of blessings, right? We have the key nearby is a certain augury of success. Which again, it's making me think of like good news. The 4 clubs reminds me of the 4 wands, which can speak of family reunions, happy gatherings, and unions as well, marriage. Yeah, so there's this feeling of all will work out. Maybe what is so unexpected is the chronology of it all, right? Maybe you might feel like things are not happening in order, like things are happening out of order. And that could be what is throwing you off guard. That could be what is making you take a step back, because it's not happening as you planned. But I think Spirit is saying, be open to the unexpected, because at the end of it all, you're going to be very, very pleased with either the end result or how things do end up unfolding for you, even if it's not in the chronological order that you were expecting for it to happen. And I know I gave different interpretations and examples, but for some, this unexpected thing could definitely be the blessing in and of itself, one of your manifestations, one of the things you've been trying to manifest that will produce or bring forth even more blessings. or this unexpected thing might not be the manifestation in itself, but it will be the key. It will be actually something good that will redirect you or direct you to your manifestation, or will be what will allow for what you are trying to manifest to manifest. Like, you know, again, it's making me think of a key that is unlocking a door to allow for something to come in. And there's a lot of like innuendos here. We have the key in the keyhole, and then penetration. So there is something here about fertility, which could be like very literal, talking about conception, but this could also be symbolic, metaphorical, talking about, you know, creation, something being birthed, becoming tangible. Yes, I feel like I went all over the place with this reading, but I trust that if this was meant for you, the messages will make sense to you. Oh, and the key now made me think of also giving access to someone. So yeah, I did mention at the beginning of like someone may be coaxing you, right, to open up to them. And so again, I don't know what it is that you are trying to manifest, but if this makes sense to you, the how this will manifest for you is through you giving access to someone, like unlocking your heart to someone, giving access to another into your inner world, into the machinations of your mind, or possibly confiding in another, right? Trusting someone. It could be through you forming a connection with someone, allowing for intimacy with another. Again, but it will be through your acceptance, it will be through your approval, your green light. That's how this will happen, right? This might come in, just to give an example, let's say if this is about a connection, right? Someone may come into your life, right? They may knock on your door, but things won't happen, things won't unfold unless you allow them into your life. Open the door for them and allow them into your space, right? It's also making me think of like traveling. Let's say you want to travel to Italy or Rome, and you're given the tickets to travel free of charge, but you won't get to Italy or Rome unless you get on the plane, use those plane tickets. At the end of the day, it will be up to you, is what they're trying to say. Like the key may be handed to you, but then you have to use it. If you don't, then this manifestation, it's not going to fully unfold. Because I feel like this being something in parts. It's like a package, right? You receive the package. I'm giving like different examples, but like you receive the package. It's at your doorstep, but you'll just see the package. You'll just be with the package. You won't get what's inside of it until you open up the package. You have to open up the package to receive the gift inside of it. That's kind of the vibe that I'm picking up here as well. So this feels like steps. Like it's coming your way, but then you have to make a move. You have to take the next step for this to fully unfold or come to be, for it to truly manifest, in other words. But okay, now I want to reveal the card that is the message that is on the back of this card. And you are free to fly, which makes me think of you are free to choose. You are free to choose. It's up to you. And there's no pressure, right? It's like you're just being let known, like, for this to fully manifest, you will have to take some kind of action, right? That's it. But if you don't want for this to fully manifest or come to be, then that's perfectly fine. You can choose that as well. You are free to fly. Wow. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like a change of mind, a change of heart, that can happen, right? We can want to manifest something at a certain point in our life, and then as we grow and mature, we might end up wanting different things, and what we used to want, we might not want it anymore, we might not feel the same way about it. But that doesn't mean that it won't like manifest, right? It could end up manifesting for us, but then it's up to us how we handle that, if we accept it or if we reject it. And so I feel like that could be the case for some. For others, it might be that you still want this, but then you have to accept that you do want it and reach out for it, take it, or move towards it. Right? But I feel like this is the main message. You are free to fly. You are free to choose. It's up to you. It will be up to you. Because if this involves another, if this involves something else, it feels like they have already chosen. It makes me think of like the manifestation itself. The manifestation itself has already chosen, and they choose you. They said yes to you. Like they do want this with you. They do want to be with you. They do want to be your manifestation, but then now it's your turn to choose. What do you want? And I'm also seeing that with you are free to fly, during the time that this manifests for you, you might be given some kind of freedom, or you might be receiving news that you are freed from some kind of responsibility, or it will be very clear to you that you do have the freedom to choose, that you are free to choose now. Like maybe choose in what direction you want your life to move in, or you are free to move, maybe literally physically move or travel, or focus on you, become an independent person, for example, or claim your independence in some kind of way. You are free to go your own way, is the feeling I'm getting. But these, let's see, anything else I want to point out? The number 33, 4, 6, and 7 could be of significance. The color pink, keys, clovers could be of significance as well. And any symbols that represent like fertility, conception, could be of significance as well. And I did mention birds, right? Bluebirds, sparrows. But these are all the messages coming through for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. I know it was all over the place, but I hope it was of help. And if you are new to this channel and you wish to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. And to all of you who took the time to watch the advertisements or just let them play in the background, thank you so much for that, since that is the simplest way to support me and support this growing channel. So if you did, I truly do appreciate it. And before I sign off, I want to give a thanks to my spirit team and your spirit guides for assisting me with delivering these messages to you. Thank you so very much. And I'm wishing you and your loved ones a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you are watching. And until the next moment. Bye-bye.